I'm Ned from Ned's Towing. Today, I'll be reviewing the 1/4-inch air hydraulic riveter from Central Pneumatic, aka Harbor Freight. And although this hails from China, made by the Chinaman, this packs a mean punch at $67.99. In comparison to other brands that are like it, you'd spend a good $300, and that's a lot of savings for some beer. I didn't really want to get this product because it's not made in the USA and it's Harbor Freight. Until I got some really good reviews and really good feedback about this thing. And there's a guy at my work who had this for about 3 years and he hasn't even filled it with hydraulic oil, and it works just as good as it did since the day he got it. Along with this tool comes a couple spanner wrenches and an extra set of jaws. And also, one of the best things about this comes with the 1-year warranty. So I highly recommend this tool because you'll only be using it about once every 2 weeks, if that. And I don't want to pay $300 for that when there's a lot of beer I gotta buy. So go get you one and let's get this thing on. Now I'm going to show you how to mix filler with honey and spread it as a top coat. But first, before I do that, I'm going to take this wire brush and air and expose any possible pinholes or weak filler that won't adhere too well. This exposes it all so you can then fill over the voids. I already got the filler on my Bondo board. I used U-Pull Flyweight Gold. Now I'm going to add my honey. The honey is Evercoat plastic honey, and it's made for fillers. So I'll get this in here, and beware. Once this stuff starts getting on the outside, you just let the dogs out. Or shall I say wolves. See that right there? No. Bad stuff. So usually I have this stuff in a plastic bag, but I wanted to show you what brand it is and who makes it. And this will make the filler nice and creamy so you don't have any pinholes. A little more than that. In hot weather you don't have to add as much because your filler is already going to be creamy. And mix that up. And if it doesn't feel creamy once it's mixed, I'll put a little more in. But so far it feels like it's going to be just right. You don't want to add too much or it'll start messing with your adhesion. And the reason why I do this is because on classic cars, you're priming multiple times, so there's really no need for a polyester finishing glaze when it's like $30 for a real small little bottle. When you're doing classic cars, you'll have to rent through like $150 worth of that stuff, and it's much easier to get honey and mix it in with your filler. It's a lot more runny now. Now I'm going to add my filler and mix. When you spread, you want to make sure put a nice tight coat on first time you go. Once you go over it once real tight, you can go over it again. You don't have to press down so tightly. And you press down tightly for your pinholes. As you can see, I'm using my Bondo board as a tray to collect all the filler that's running because it's pretty runny. if your body work is good, at this point, you're just taking care of sand scratches. You're not really filling anything. And so you want it nice and tight. Well, of course, you're going to have some fill properties, but not that much. I mean, basically, you're filling in sand scratches and any minor pinholes. But I have a tendency to try to take care of the pinholes before I do this. And when you mix a lot of filler, use a little less hardener. But you don't want to get in the habit of putting too little hardener in, because then you have adhesion issues, and that could bite you down the road. Boy, this stuff is runny. That's good. That's what I want. As you see, when I'm going over this part, I'm angling my spreader. Right here, I don't need filler. That's how you spread. We're almost completely done with the filler work, and before I mention a few things about this, I'd like to note that in restoration, there's a thin line between good restorations and decent ones. When you've been doing it for a while, you notice the small, minute details. And for Mustangs, along with a lot of other cars, you'll see that even at the good restoration shops, you'll see the wheel crown right here won't be straight. You'll see there's an area right here that won't be straight, and it'll always be a low spot right there. I got that taken care of, and this problem is very common in Mustangs. And you'll see it right here and right on the other side, right where the hinges are. I had a video highlighting the problem and how to fix it previously. Also, you'll see hoods won't be that straight, and that's because, you know, most hoods on classic cars are mangled. Now back to this quarter panel. The problem I have with this quarter panel, and the reason why I'm kind of disappointed in myself, is because the back is bowed out. This quarter panel was smashed, and instead of replacing it, I thought it'd be a better experience for me to fix it. So basically what I did is I had a porta power behind here, this area, to push it out, and I didn't push it out enough, because you can see this metal poking out right here, which means that's high. And when you fill it with your hand, it's low right here. It's not so bad right here. It feels straight, but right here I didn't push it out enough, and I'm kind of disappointed. Anyways, my point is, on a lot of Mustangs you'll see out there, you'll see the quarters bowed at the end, and it's not supposed to be that way. It's supposed to be straight. So if we look at this side, it's straight. you can see that, but it's straight. When you look on this one, it looks relatively straight. When you go on the bottom, you can see it's bowed out a little bit right there. So we got the questionable section of the quarter skinned back. Now I'm going to rub my hands over it to pinpoint exactly where it needs to be pushed out the most, and that appears to be right here. And I'm also feeling where the high spot is. So the low spot is generally right here, and the high spot's back here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this 410 porta power and I'm going to brace it right there, and I'm going to have it push up right here. And as it's pushing up right here, which is right here, the back side of this, I'm going to hammer down the high spot, and that's going to even everything out. I should have did a more thorough job when I did this, but it felt good to go. And even now, it feels pretty decently, and when you feel it, you could maybe come to the conclusion that filler would be the right thing to do. But I don't want to have filler on the quarter and quarter extension just so they match. I want it to match good in bare metal. Basically what you do to use a porta power is, this is the hand actuator right here. And see that? See as it's extending? It's a cylinder that pushes, and then you throw any one of these extensions onto this right here, and the rest of these pieces are just little feet to grip where you're gonna have it. So it's pretty neat. I'll set that up and I'll show you how I have it set up. And here we have it. We got one end up against this brace right here with wood protecting the metal, and you got the other end right up there, and there's also wood protecting it. So all I have to do, which I already did, was pump. I gave it some pumps, and now what I have to do is I have to hammer down the high spots. Like a dummy, I have all my hammers at work. So the only hammers I have here is this and that one. Now, as you can see, I got it wedged up against that 2x4, and the only reason why it's staying there is because there's a hole at the end and it's right over a nail, otherwise it would slide right off. So that nail is keeping it nice and sturdy. And then we got it coming right over here into the corner. And again, as it's pushing, I'm hammering down my high spots. And in doing this, it's actually messing this up a little bit, but that's alright, I could hammer that down later. Basically focusing on this. We're getting there. Not quite there yet. As you can see, there's a little low right here. I need to push that out more. And then I'll be smoothing the quarter out on Monday after work. And that should do it. And as a lesson to me, now I know, don't finalize the quarter until you throw this on, or you're going to have a nightmare. And as you can see, it looks a lot better and a lot more comparable to the other side. And I still need to smooth it out. Well, let's go have a look at the other side. Now, it's time to fix mistake number 2. And that is a little run right there. You can see it goes this way because it was sitting on the stand. So now I'm going to fix that. Basically what I'm going to do is take a brand new razor blade and bend it a little bit. And this is the part that's going to break down the run. I don't want to scrape this way because you'll dig in. I want to scrape that way. I want to do it lightly. First, you want to make sure that your paint's cured because the drip is the thickest area on the whole bumper. So you stick your nail into it. If it doesn't make a mark, it's ready to go. I got 1200 on a paint stick, and it's very important to just sand the area where the rim is. Now if I sand an area around the run, by the time I get the run out, there'll be no more clear on it. So I'm just going to take my time and ensure that I just sand on the run. When it's nearly flat, then I'll sand everything around it to smooth it all out. I don't recommend you sanding like this, but what I'm doing here is taking out some sand scratches. As you can see, it's shiny around the edges, dull in the middle. I don't know if you can see, there's a slight little ripple, and I could sand that out a little better with the paint stick, but it looks good. It'll barely be noticeable, if that, because it's white. And there's only 2 coats of clear on it, so I don't want to break through. I doubt it will, but I want to leave some clear on there. It won't be noticeable, basically. As you can see, I got the tape right up at the edge, and I have it like that because if my buffer wheel gets close, it's not going to grab that adhesive from the tape and bring it into the area where it'll just make the compound all sticky and gross and dirty. I like to buff with the moist pad. Now it's all groomed and clean, ready to go. When you apply your initial compound to your pad, you want to add more than you usually would. Condition it. As the compound dries, put less pressure on it. When the compound's wet, a little more pressure on it. As you can see, the run is gone. A slight little ripple, but I don't want to burn through. It looks good enough. Good to go.
Hi, welcome to the Body Beat. I'm Biff Biffle. In today's Auto Body News, a bill to reduce the required auto insurance coverage for low-income families in Clark County has quietly died in the Nevada Senate. Nevada Senate. Nevada? Where's that? I'm your host, Biff Biffle. In today's Auto Body News, a bill reduced. In today's Auto Body News, a bill boosting a move that